How did Titoism differ from Soviet communism? Imagine a country trying to build socialism but taking a completely different path from its powerful neighbor. That's what happened with Yugoslavia under Josip Broz Tito compared to the Soviet Union under Stalin. Both claimed to be socialist, but their ideas about how to run things and spread socialism were very different. First, let's talk about the economy. The Soviet Union believed in total state control over all factories, farms, and resources. The government owned everything and made all the economic decisions. Tito's Yugoslavia, on the other hand, introduced what is called worker self-management. That means workers in factories and farms had a say in how things were run. They could make decisions about production and profits, not just the government. This was a big shift away from the Soviet model, which kept the economy tightly controlled from above. Tito also criticized the Soviet Union for its trade practices. He said the USSR sold goods to its satellite countries at high prices and bought from them at low prices. To Tito, this looked like economic imperialism, where the Soviet Union was exploiting other socialist countries to benefit itself. He believed this went against the idea of true international socialism and was more about maintaining Soviet dominance. Politically, both systems had one-party rule, but Tito wanted to build a different kind of socialist state. He believed in fostering revolutions that grew naturally from local conditions, rather than forcing socialism from the top down. Stalin's approach was to control everything from Moscow and keep tight control over satellite states. Tito's idea was more about independence and self-determination for each country. In practice, Tito's policies often looked more repressive than he wanted to admit. He initially pushed for rapid nationalizations and agricultural collectivization. But when he faced economic problems, he shifted power away from the central government and regional party leaders. This created a situation where different regions competed against each other, which Tito later criticized as little autarchies. Tito's version of socialism aimed to be more democratic and worker-centered. He wanted workers to have real control over production. But in reality, party leaders still held most of the power, and workers had limited influence. This tension between theory and practice showed how difficult it was to create a truly worker-led socialist system within a one-party state. So, in summary, Titoism differed from Soviet communism mainly in its economic approach, international outlook, and political structure. Tito's model was about decentralizing control and giving workers more say, while the Soviet Union focused on centralized planning and Moscow's authority. Both aimed for socialism, but their methods and visions for the future were quite different.